Hello chaps, John with you again, and we're back here with another update. Now as you can see, I'll show you what I've done first, and then I want to go show you something in the instructions. A few anomalies. We call them anomalies. We won't call them mistakes, we'll call them anomalies. They're mistakes. Okay, I don't know, straighten the camera there, but there we go. A little bit better. So anyway, what I've gotten done, as you can see, I'm after getting the this centerpiece here on. I'm after getting the top glued on. Also these two sides here, two little bits there, two bits on the front. I've got nice big shackles there on the side, and we have the tail done. Okay, a couple of nice little fiddly parts there. I had no problems. Well, apart from what I'm going to show you in the instructions. Apart from that, no real problems. Okay, now remember what I was saying about what you're going to get to see inside in this. It is very, very limited to what you're going to get to see inside in that. Even if you give it a bit of light, okay, it's still going to be very, very limited as to what you're going to get to see inside. That's why I wasn't really too, worried about those shelving things. As you can see, if you can get it, if you sort of get over there and get a light shined in, you'll see, oh, there's shelves in there. You won't exactly see, what they are or anything like that. But apart from that, I'm happy enough. Everything seems to be going well. No problems really. Problems. None so far. Now the fit is very, shall we say, it's sketchy. I've had to do a bit of shaving work here and there, getting things in. I've had to use a bit of clamps and some tinymoore tape in places just to kind of keep things down and keep them in place while the glue is setting up. I had to, the top piece here, I had to sort of tape that and do a bit of fiddling, to get the top piece to fit. Same with the two of these pieces here. These two here went down easily enough, but these two here, they just took a little bit of, shall we say, a little bit of extra persuasion to fit in the right places. This piece here that goes down, you got these little pieces that go around it. That's one piece, and if you can see around it there's little plates that go either side of that. Now I've chosen that they go either side of that, and they kind of it comes up smooth with it, but this piece here has little protrusions onto it, so I had to for that to fit in properly, I've had to cut them off. So once I cut them off, then that fitted in nicely, so I'm happy enough with that. Now whether that looks right or not, I do not know, but it's about as close as I could actually get it to what it was showing in the basically in the instructions, and looking at pictures and things, because I'm constantly flicking between the instructions, the box art, and I have the laptop here in front of me, or the Chromebook, should I say, here in front of me, and I've got some onto Pinterest. I'm after getting some lovely photographs of the FT17s, some nice close-up ones and things, of actual ones rather than models. A couple of little variations, slight differences with a few of them, but the general dimensions of it are basically all the same. It's just what people have added, I'd say, or from watching documentaries, they weren't all made by Renault. Okay, Renault got the contract for them, and he farmed out some of the contracts to other French companies. So that's where you're getting slight differences, maybe, with between different FT17s. So taking all that into account, kit is grand. You'll get there. A little bit of modelling skill required. Definitely wouldn't recommend this kit for a beginner. It's more of a kind of an intermediate to advanced modelling skills, and even at that, you'll get there. You'll get there. Right, a couple of anomalies, like that I said. Remember, I kind of cut the instructions up into little sheets, right? Now, as you see, I mark everything off in green. Anything I've marked off in orange means it's got to be done at a later stage, and that's the doors here on the front. Okay, how the driver gets in. I want to have it all open, and because I want to have it open, I don't want them kind of sticking out when I'm playing around with the rest of it and handling it. There's a good chance that I'll break everything off and stuff, so I'm going to leave it till much later. And what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to kind of white glue them in place while I'm painting, so therefore I can, the camouflage scheme will be even throughout the whole thing, and then take off the white glue, clean them all off, and then do the insides in the white and stuff like that. So it's easy enough to, I know, shall we say, trust me, I think I know what I'm doing. Many times we heard that, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so on to what I called anomalies, as in mistakes. Okay, mistakes on the both on the kit, the drawings, and the sprues themselves, shall we say. Okay, now if you look here, it says use part number 51 in there. That's those. That's these. These things here. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly what to call them, so I'll just call them these things here, right? And that's at the front, and at the back then you can choose whether you use the these things here or one with a hook. Okay, and one with a hook is marked as at number 52. Those ones are marked at number 51. So because the sprues themselves aren't numbered, you got to go to the instruction sheet, which will give you the sprue maps. I searched everywhere, and I could not find piece number 51. Okay, piece number 51 does not exist on any of the sprues, but those pieces are there. Okay, you can see them. They're all the little these yokes here, and they're all marked number 52. Okay, and then these hook pieces for the back are also marked 52. Okay, so that was the first mistake. Easy enough to find because these pieces were actually quite distinctive. Okay, there is nothing else that they can be, and finding them was easy enough. Okay, now this piece here at the back, right, it's the back plate of that, right, you got your two sides, the bottom, you have a back piece. Now this is not including the tail. Before the tail went on the back piece. I should have mentioned it in the last update, but I didn't. Shall we say, I hadn't come across all these other little mistakes. I'm just going to leave it off. Always leave one off, but when it starts to kind of repeat itself, that's when you've got a problem. Again, the piece is marked piece number 50. Okay, as you see here, it's marked number 50. Right, if you see over, I'm after writing 110. Okay, because on the sprues it was part 110. Okay, that was the piece that was needed for the back of that, and that took me quite a while to actually find. I put it down as a mistake. I said to myself, can all make mistakes, don't worry about it. And little slip up or whatever. So anyway, then it went on then for piece number 93. Okay, 93. These little kind of hooky things here. Okay, can we see them? Oh, come on. They're just little sticky out things there, right? One there, and you've one at that side as well, right? Don't know what they are, don't know what they're for, anything like that, right? But if you look at our instructions here, right, that kind of looks like what it is. And the reason is I couldn't find piece number 93. Could not find it anywhere at all. Searched all the sprues, went even sort of looking at each piece to see what was the nearest thing to it. And the nearest thing to it were those yokes there, and they are marked on the instructions as piece number 13, 1-3 instead of a 9-3. So, you know, again, could be a simple little mistake by them, but it is definitely a 1 and not a 9. And they're the closest that I could find of what was left on the sprues. Nothing else really looked anything like what these would be. Okay, and they look, you know, they look okay once they're on. Do you know what I mean? But again, incorrectly marked both on the instructions and on the thing. Now, obviously, one of them is wrong. They could have been meant to say 13. There could be a misprint on the actual instructions. Instead of saying 93, it should have been 13, or the other way around. These should have been marked as number 93. But I mean, you can go over the whole thing there. I'll go over it nice and slow for you. Right, in focus. Right, come on, in focus. Focus up there, laddie. Okay. You will not find piece number 93. I don't even know why I'm doing this, because I've been over it more times than anything else, right? There is no piece number 93. Okay. Just give me a look over that sprue there. That's the Taurus sprue. Basically everything has gone off that sprue, and this sprue then is there's two of these, and those pieces number 13 are not used anywhere at all, but they're there on that. So I just, you have to kind of assume that that's what they were. Okay, now is all that a problem? I suppose you could say it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, the drawings themselves are pretty vague, as in where pieces actually go and how they're orientated. Like this piece here, right? It's a starting handle. It's there at the back, right? Now, if you fit it as is, the way it's showing you to fit it, they're showing you that nice and straight, then you can't fit the tail. Okay. Now I do know that the tail, they slide out two bolts here, and the tail slips up. So therefore, you can crank it and start it, and then drop down your tail. So it's not a case of you can't crank it now once that. You can crank it once the tail is in place, but the tail is it's movable. Okay, it goes up and down. I have seen that in various pictures. But even at that, I had to kind of, I had to kind of drill a bit of a hole, shall we say, make a bit of a hole for that to fit in, rather than sort of holding it up to the piece. Because if you held it up to the piece, this piece here would have just come out that little bit extra too long, and it was interfering and fricking everything. So I've had to drill a hole in it, pop it in, glue it in the side of the sideways position. Then it worked, no problems there. So, excuse me, with little problems like that, it could drive people mad. Some people might just get the kit and feck it out the door, but not me. I'll persevere. I'll stick fricking with it. Why not? So anyway, that brought us up as far as step number 14. Okay, so now we're into step number 15. Right, we're getting close to these fabulous tracks that I'm so looking forward to. Not. Anyway. Okay, I have been playing around with the tracks. They don't glue with tet to me extra thin, so it will have to be super glue. And because of the way the tracks are, you can't kind of glue them beforehand and then try and fit them on, because it'll be too tight and you'll end up breaking something. So they'll have to be kind of put around and then glued. Now, which is grand because you can kind of glue them to all the runners and all the places like that, so I'm not really worried about them, you know, saggy fit or funny fit issues, because they'll be glued the whole fucking way around, and that's going to solve that problem. I hope that's going to solve that problem. So anyway, lads, right, now let's continue on anyway with the build. Right, so what am I going to get done next? Right, step number 15 has us putting on, I'll just change the light here just a little bit, has us putting on a triangular piece here at the top. We're starting putting on some of the tools. We have a toolbox or something here on this that goes onto the side. Okay, easy enough, straightforward. I know where all the pieces are, I've seen them. Okay. On the other side then we've got a shovel and a sledgehammer, and we're doing the exhaust. Again, shouldn't be that hard. Then we're on to fitting our tracks. Now I've decided that I'm going to actually build everything and paint the tracks then on the vehicle, because they're going around the outside. Should be easy enough. I can, you know, paint them by hand and get them all nicely rustied up and all that kind of thing. And then we've got step 18, where we've got some accessories, right? So it shows that we've got a bucket and we've got some spare tracks. Okay, some spare track pieces that go on there at the back. Now it says here chain. It doesn't give you a chain, but I'm going to look around and see can I find a chain that's small enough. And it's one of those things, if I have it, I'll use it. If I don't have it, I won't. Simple as that. I won't use a chain that will look out of scale. No, I'm not being a rivet counter in that in any way, shape or form, but I have seen a lot of people sort of using bits of chain on the back of tanks and things. And even though they're painted up absolutely fabulous, made it look nice and rusty and all that, but if it does, if the links and all that are sort of unrealistically big, okay, it just doesn't look right. It does not look right at all. It definitely looks like that somebody just painted up a bit of jewellery and stuck it on. Okay, so it not being there, that you wouldn't notice and wouldn't notice it's supposed to be there in the first place, is better than something being there that looks totally out of place. Okay, so I'm a firm believer in that. It's the same like if you get a kit and the tools are absolutely feckin' horrible, you know, they're really, really bad, then just don't use them. Okay, don't use them, because it looks, by not using them, it looks an awful lot better than using bad ones. Okay, so just a little bit of advice, a little bit of a tip. So I'm going to get as far as step 18. I'm going to put on the spare tracks. I'm not going to bother with the bucket. Again, it's one of those things that's going to be dangling out, it's going to pop off and break, so it's just got to be that little bit more careful. I'm going to have it ready though to go on, and I can kind of glue it on in place once I have everything done. It'll be one of the last things on anyway, so I'm not really worried too much about it. Then for a finish, then the last update of the build process will be just making the turret. Okay, now the turret is nice and smooth, but it does give you the pattern there for the rivets, and it gives you all the rivets as well. Yes, you got to slice them off a piece of sprue. Okay, so they are going to be fun. I must admit they are going to be absolute hoot. Yeah, right. A hoot is right. Never actually gone and done that, but we'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. What I might do is just get them all cut off and get them all ready, and do that texturing thing, you know, with the to me extra thin and the bigger brush, and say stipple the turret, giving it that kind of rolled and cast texture, and, you know, rolled steel or whatever, and then pop the rivets onto that. And while they're still a little bit sticky, now thinking about, you know, how to do all that, and I think that's about the easiest way to go. So anyway, lads, that's it for this one. Okay, that's it for this this update. Please join me again soon, and for the next update, and the easiest way to do that and to know when I've got it up is to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, and you'll be notified then as soon as I upload another video. And don't forget to hit the like button, give the old like button on this one, and you know, in the comments box below, let me know what you think so far on how this is turning out. Is it a kit you'd get yourself, considering the mistakes and things like that? So far, you know, there are a couple of little problems with it, but it's an interesting, enjoyable little build, I must say. And I normally don't like little ones, but I am enjoying this for some weird reason. Don't know why, because everything is kind of going against it. But I'm enjoying it anyway. It's sort of bringing out a few of the little skills that I've sort of have but don't really use on a regular basis. So anyway, lads, thank you for taking your time out to watch this video. If you want to help out the channel in any way that you can, there's links in the description box below to PayPal and also my email if you want to contact me directly. And don't forget, get over there to the Facebook page as well. That's JMSM on Facebook. You can join that and upload your own builds and see how other people are doing. Okay, so until then, lads, take care, enjoy your modelling, stay safe. Don't forget, I have a live show every Friday night. It is now Friday and it is now 8:30, so I'll be on live in about a half an hour's time. That's from now, when this video goes up, and everything else might be in the middle of it. Yeah, we might be in the middle of the live show. So anyway, lads, take care, stay safe, catch you again soon. Bye.